tournament back to our normal time. And now we get set for Dennis Horan's first appearance today. First of the year, fourth ever, against Dennis Traber. And yes, all of us at ABC send our sympathy to the Weissman family with the death of Danny's dad, Albert, in Dallas.
Well, Dave Traber starts with a solid 10, and what a difference a couple of weeks can make. He bowled 140 in the championship round in Seattle, 146, I believe. He turns it around right here with a 269 in his second match against the tough Rick Steelsmith. Now he goes against the left.
All right. So we have a head-to-head battle going here between two non-winners, two regional champions, however. Traber with 7 Midwest titles. This man, Dennis Horan Jr., 26-year-old with 13 regional titles.
What a sweet shot by Dennis Horan, an opening shot. A little shuffle step. Wraps that ball slightly behind his back, but he's going to drive straight on through and watch this nice, solid finish and loft on the ball. If he maintains that form, he's very tough. The one downfall that Dennis Horan occasionally has is he'll lay the ball short, not loft it over the line, and soften it up, and then it hooks high.
So leaving the 6-pin, well, I want to ask you about shoes, bowling shoes.
All right, Chris, as you see Horan leaving the 6-pin going on touch high, almost trips it out for a strike. But if you look at Dennis Horan Jr., he has switched shoes right before the championship round to a better and stronger shoe on his pivot step.
And let's see if it helps him toward his first ever PBA title.
And he's working that shoe over right now. We'll check it out again when he gets back up on the approach. Now, a loosened up David Traber has proven his point that he can bowl well in the championship round. 269 the first game, second frame.
Right back with a powerful shot. David Traber, 180 pounds on that 6-foot frame. Loves muscle cars, fast cars. Has 3 brothers. He has an uncle that races stock cars in the Milwaukee, Wisconsin area.
His brother Dale, a solid regional player in the Midwestern region.
Four-pin.
Well, it's rather warm in Southern California today in the mid-80s, and the lanes are starting to hook out just a little bit more, and you see the ball drift high for David Traber right here. He's around the second arrow, swings out here, and he just catches it a pinch high, leaving the 4-pin. Now, Chris, picking back up on Dennis Horan, his left foot is his pivot step, and that's the key spot. He said he was slipping as he's driving through into the sliding step. He changed to another shoe, and he feels it's adequate to keep the speed and the loft up. Notice how he starts with his feet apart. I've never seen anybody do that before.
And this time it's a plaguing 7-pin.
A likable young man. You can tell how he reacts as you look at his wife, Terry, looking on. He's a likable guy, and all he needs to do is get loosened up here. He averaged 257 for 2 games on the championship player, much higher than anybody else so far in the field.
Okay, Dennis Horan averaged 40 tournament appearances per year until this year's low of 5. And here are a few good reasons.
Well, it's a combination of 2 reasons, actually. First being finances. I just didn't have the money to compete this year full time. And second, I think, was a little lack of confidence. After I made 2 shows in 4 weeks in '89, and since then my high finish is 16th. So I was kind of wondering if I could compete still on the tour. But after this week, I've reestablished that I can compete, and hopefully I'll be here next week.
All right. He has a 3rd at Miami, a 3rd at Phoenix, a 3rd in Seattle. And he is trailing by only 1 pin. As we get another look at Riverside's Mission Inn, featuring a 3/4 scale replication of Italy's St. Francis of Assisi Church, complete with all that wonderful glasswork, and an 18th century altar of 24-karat gold leaf purchased from Mexico by Frank Miller, a pioneer of this Riverside, California area. It's the active West PBA Open here in California. State, sports-minded state, of course. David Traber. Leading by 1, and the strike was important, setting him up for the next frame as we go to Bo.
Thank you, Chris Schenkel, the dominant player on the tour so far this year with 8 championship round appearances. However, David Ferraro, you're only 4 wins, 7 losses in the #1 position, and this year there's only been 4 winners in 19 weeks from #1. Any particular strategy for you?
Well, if that's the case, I think the odds are in my favor here. And judging by the scores in there, I went to the locker room, I got my striking shoes on, and we'll see what happens.
It's great to be confident, but you can when you're as good as David Ferraro, Chris Schenkel.
That's right. He really has it. Talk about the will to succeed. David Ferraro is one of the great examples here among the hundreds, thousands of professionals we've met over the years. And here's a late bloomer, 29 years of age, David Traber. And continues to mark, staying clean all the way through. And Bo, you have another guest.
Right, Chris. Rick Steelsmith. Rick, you bowled great today, averaged right at 255. However, you only walked away with 1 victory. The lanes that nice?
They're pretty nice. If you just get up and try to stay loose and get through the shot well and keep it on line, and there's a great shot and the carry's just as good.
How about in this match? Pick a winner.
Traber's throwing the ball pretty good. I think he's going to be tough to beat. He's got a good line in the pocket, and his carry seems to be pretty well, so he's going to be tough.
All right, Chris, he picks Dave Traber. Dennis Horan Jr., I'm sure, has something to say about that.
And he just proved that by doubling, taking a 9-10 lead. Trailing by 1, doubled, and now he is up 9 against David Traber. Traber, who shot that 269 in defeating Rick Steelsmith. Steelsmith in the first game defeating Brian Voss, 258 to 224. Steelsmith 248 in his losing second game. Left the 10-pin on the left lane in a very close, pivotal semifinal match. Winner to meet Dave Ferraro for the title.
You see the line of Dennis Horan. He's playing around the second arrow, almost the same angle to the pocket as the 4 right-handers have been playing. Just a medium hook, and he's been very solid in this game. He's around the pocket every shot.
All right, Wide World follows us. The WBA World Lightweight Championship title match. American Joey Gamache puts his perfect record on the line against Olympic medalist, #1 contender Chil Sung Chun of Korea, plus Grand National Steeplechase from England.
Traber has struck on the right-hand lane, the hooking lane, every time he's up here in the 6th.
That one coming up high. And it's the 6, 7, 10, Bo.
Wow, he just pulled that ball completely left of his target and doesn't get any good break at all by knocking out the 7. It stands. He needs to get the ball to the right of the 6 pin, slide that 6 over into the 7. Very difficult to do when the lanes are hooking that much, too. If you give it enough room, the ball will slide off in the channel. If you don't, you can't nick the 6 pin on the right-hand side. So he's opened the door for Dennis Horan, who now leads by 22.
Good comeback, however. All right. How about this view from a balcony at Riverside's Mission Inn?